The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. So yesterday somebody using a Twitter account called Hill's Medical Records leaked a document which they claim is a medical report from Mount Kisco Medical Group about Hillary Clinton, which concludes that she has complex partial seizures and subcortical vascular dementia. However, we don't know if this thing is real or if it's fake. I used to be a medical secretary, so from the point of view of the formatting of it, the way it's written, I would say that part looks pretty legit. The only thing that's weird is there's no company logo at the top. Like usually there's something in the header, although there might be some reason for why it's not there. As for the report itself, it says patient returned stating she's still having complications following a concussion in early December 2012. Patient has been diagnosed with having complex partial seizures in early 2013 and was diagnosed with having early onset subcortical vascular dementia in mid 2013. Okay, so the reports that had come out in 2012 December was that she had had a concussion, and when she had an MRI it was found that she had a venous thrombosis, like a blood clot, in what's called a transverse sinus, which is a vein which is like right around behind your ear. Although they said that because you have two, having one blocked, the other vein can usually handle the extra flow. It didn't say anything about vascular dementia at that point. Vascular dementia is also known as Binswanger's disease. Here's some more info on it. A type of dementia caused by widespread microscopic areas of damage to the deep layers of white matter in the brain. The damage is resulting of thickening and narrowing, atherosclerosis, of arteries that feed the subcortical areas of the brain. So basically you have like hardening of the arteries, and they get narrow, and then not enough blood gets in the brain, and eventually you end up with the dementia. What's a bit odd was the letter of the letter from a doctor from the same medical group, Mount Kisco Medical Group, which had been released to the public and was published in New York Times. First of all, this letter carries the logo letterhead at the top. And in this one, of note, they said she had a coronary calcium score of 0 and a normal carotid ultrasound. Your coronary calcium score would indicate the level of atherosclerosis that you would have. So if it's 0, it would mean that she showed no evidence of hardening of the arteries. So that would be odd that, it says that here, and then now she's got subcortical vascular dementia, which is caused by hardening of the arteries. A normal carotid ultrasound, so the carotid artery was normal when they ultrasounded it. So at this point, there's no evidence of anything like that, but no problem with the arteries, but problems with the veins. They mention here, they admit she has had venous thromboses in the past, couple blood clots. Okay, they don't match. So either the official report left out the part about atherosclerosis and lied about her coronary calcium score, or this report here is fake. There are two different problems. One is with the veins having blood clots. The other one is with the arteries hardening and narrowing. Two totally different problems. And the funny thing too with this report is that they mention the hardening of the arteries, subcortical vascular dementia, but they don't mention anything about the blood clots, which were already in her medical record. So why don't they mention it? Oh, and one more thing of note, in the leaked report, it describes her as being diagnosed with having early onset subcortical vascular dementia in 2013. However, on the Binswanger disease information page, it says that it begins late in the 4th decade of life and increases in severity with age. So considering that she's nearly 70 years old, you could hardly call that early onset. So I find that a bit odd. Okay, as for the seizures, I've been looking for evidence that Hillary has seizures. There are just these couple of videos. One is her reaction at the DNC where the balloons go up and she goes like that. The other one is when she's assailed by the reporters and she does the bobblehead thing. Now, people are saying she's having a complex partial seizure. Well, that's what the report says, okay? But people online had been rumoring about this before. The thing is, that's not what a complex partial seizure looks like. Like a partial seizure, it doesn't look like a full-on epileptic seizure, but it's like the person is like spaced out, unable to talk, and it lasts for more than like 2 or 3 seconds. And it doesn't look like this. Let's just say, long story short, go look up what complex partial seizures look like, and you'll see that they look different from this. And the reason they call them complex versus simple is that then they affect something about your awareness, like your memory after, you don't remember the event, or you have like a blanking, or you just have decreased awareness, something like that. In any case, they don't look like this. She has this like exaggerated startle reflex sort of that lasts for like about 3 seconds, and then she goes back to just talking and making a joke about you have to try the iced chai. She goes back to acting kind of like normal, well, for Hillarry anyway. So personally, I don't think it looks like a seizure. I think it looks more like she has an exaggerated startle reflex, and maybe her nerves are shot. And maybe that thing about her assistant having a diazepam, maybe it's true, maybe she's having like panic attacks or something. But the seizures, I don't see evidence of that so far. Also, I find it weird that there's no real evidence of her having complex partial seizures, and then this report comes out saying that she has exactly that. Like, the public's been rumoring about it without evidence. It's just been a rumor. Now comes a medical report supporting the rumor. That would be fully a coincidence, because there was no evidence for it. So, how likely is that? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, that would be a big coincidence. So at this point, I'm leaning towards that report being fake, although it could be real. We don't know. But I just want to warn you, if somebody puts something up and says, oh, look, I have this or that, that doesn't mean that it's real. Just because they claim to be leaking it or whistleblowing doesn't mean that it's necessarily real. They could be trolling, But, it's something to keep an eye on. Now, does this prevent her from holding office? I think that there are lots of reasons why she shouldn't be the president. They have to do with stuff like fraud and crime. She's under investigation, or she's been. So is the Clinton Foundation. I mean, there's so much dirt around her, like I said before. It's dirty, dirty, awful stuff. That it doesn't seem to me like she would be the best person running the United States of America. Actually, she'd be a very bad choice. I don't even know why she's up there. I mean, how... Like, this is ridiculous, okay? This is ridiculous. She's the best choice? What? It's because there's like this Bush-Clinton thing happening. So you have Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and then you go back to having a Clinton. Like, I see something funny going on here. But as for subcortical vascular dementia preventing her from holding office, if she even has it, I would point out that you have had demented presidents before. I mean, Reagan had Alzheimer's, and Bush Jr. seemed to be suffering from something like Korsakoff syndrome, wet brain, maybe from too much drinking, B1 deficiency. I mean, he didn't seem like he was all there, but it didn't stop him from being the president. So those people who are saying, oh, this is going to leak out and then they're going to cancel the election, Obama's going to do a third term and there's going to be martial law. I don't think so. I think that they would go ahead and have a demented president anyway. Although, I mean, if she gets in there, that she was selected, not elected, and the whole thing was rigged, I think. But I don't think that they would say, oh no, she's got vascular dementia, let's not put her in the White House. They'd be like, we've done it before and we'll do it again. Demented presidents? Why not? Because the president is just sort of like the puppet, right? So I don't think that's going to stop them. And at this point, like I say, I am leaning towards that leaked document not being authentic, but I thought it was worth bringing it up, discussing it. You let me know what you think. And, well, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time.